Good day, brothers and sisters, near and far, across the pond and this side of the lake. Welcome to One Nation Tribal Alliance Native Talk. Uh, I'm Greg, or Imsa Greg Yawakia from Pueblo, Zuni, and this is Miss.
Eve, um, Howard. Sorry, I was like, can you throw my mom's name in there because I was like using that, but it's Eve Thunder Howard if I do that. Been trying to honor my mother, and I am from the Ojibwe Nation. I am from the White Earth Tribe, and that's located in Minnesota. And I am a healer and a life coach and a very good friend. That's what I say.
Wow, okay. Well, anyway, today we want to do a Native Talk update. I guess is what we will title this update because we are gonna do we want to be able to explain our mission and why we are here to do what we are doing, other than talk about our culture, native cultures, what we believe in, what we do, and everything. So, today we just want to update everybody on what's going on, and I will again things that I'm gonna do. I will create an event on Facebook, and I will post a Zoom link for those that are interested in participating, and so we can talk more about it during this event because I want this event to be successful for everybody, and I wanted to have it. I mean, there are so many things out there that we want to be able to share, but you know, we could be here 24/7, but you know, I just want to go ahead and let y'all know. But so I guess I'll start off, Eve, and let y'all talk. I mean, let me talk about what my first event is going to be, and that is I want to be able to first. Let me see. Let me get this into the gear and
Ooh,
okay.
I
Let's
like the
see.
name. Galaxy. That's amazing.
Well, fool, they don't not let me do this, but oh, there it is. Yeah, yeah, there it is. Okay, I want to be able to. I want to have create, or I want to go to New Mexico and take some people along for a 3-day stargazing tour in New Mexico. Again, it'll be hosted by One Nation Tribal Alliance. Our website www.onenationtribalalliance.com. So, and on the agenda, I want to be able to go out on the first day, meet in Albuquerque, and from Albuquerque, have a meet and greet the night before. So when everybody that wants to go, show up and we'll meet over there. And then on day one, the next morning, leave around 9 in the morning. So we don't have to get up real early and do all kinds of stuff, but leave around 9 o'clock in the morning and go to a place called Very Large Array. And then spend time out there. And the next slide will tell you what it is. I would go day one, we'll go to Very Large Array, Acoma Sky City, which Acoma is the oldest pueblo that still lives up in the mesa without any electricity or running water or any plumbing. So that's on day one. On day two, I want to be able to go to El Moro National Park and walk around the mountain, tour the area, spend a half a day up there, and then after that, in the evening, go to a place called Great Kiva Ruins, where there's a lot of pictographs of space contact. I want to show the pictographs, but let me step up one step ahead. Once we get to Acoma Sky City and once we tour the Sky City and everything, we will probably end up staying the night over there. And I got some friends, relatives, whatever you want to call them, buddies, brothers and sisters out there that said that we could go to their land, which is out in the middle of nowhere and stargaze that night. Every night we're going to stargaze. So we're going to stargaze in Acoma Sky City. And the thing about that area is the elevation is 6,300 above sea level. So you're that much closer to the universe when you're 6,300 feet above sea level. So that'd be on day one. And again, we go to El Morro, Great Kiva, and that evening, you know, watch the stars again because there've been a lot of activities going on out in the area. And then the final
Mm-hmm.
day, day three, I want to be in the morning, get up and go to Chaco Canyon. And everybody's heard about Chaco Canyon. Go to Chaco Canyon. Then after Chaco Canyon, come back to Zuni, and then you know, then visit the Zuni pueblos. And I got a friend that has some real good stories about where he saw Bigfoot and where he saw where he has footprints of Bigfoot. And I want to be able to talk to some people out in Zuni about their experiences with the ETs. So we'll go back and talk to them. Anyway, they won very large arrays. Here's what it is right there. See the picture of it? It's a satellites.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
These are huge satellite. This is where they filmed Contact with Jodie Foster. I don't know if you
Oh
remember that
wow.
movie. I can't remember what year, but
Yeah.
Jodie Foster did that movie of Contact. And these are so big that it takes a locomotive to move one of these satellites. And it crossed the span about 30 miles wide in the mountain valley. And so we get a tour of it. We get to go up close to the satellite, which will probably be a little dot on the bottom when you walk up there. But and then we get to hear the space. We get to go into the room where they listen to it using these satellites into deep, deep space. So, and they have some pictures from the other one from the sister place of VLA where they actually have a telescope where when they pinpoint a sound, that telescope will point out there and take a picture of it. And they have a picture with the sound of that celestial site that you can stop and listen to it. But that museum is a self-tour museum to where, you know, we're going to take probably a good 2 or 3 hours there. And then from there, we'll go to Acoma Sky City. Acoma Sky City, this is the mesa that they all live on. And like I said, there's no running water, there's no electricity, but people still live up there. So this is on top of the mountain where they live at. And we get to go up there and tour. And so this will be on, day one. Now, so
Mm-hmm.
on day two, we will go to El Morro National Park, which is, you know, used to be owned by Zunis. But now the Park Service came in and, leased it from Zunis. Why is it called El Moro? El Moro is called Atzina in Zuni. Atzina because Zuni was the first tribe that was contacted by the Spanish explorers. Fray Marcos de Niza, Coronado, and all them people, they first came to Zuni and made the first contact. So, and when they came to Zuni, they call it Atzina because there's a big water well right here where this shadow is. And in that water well, they'll water the horses, get the water and everything. So, every time they come through or pass by Zuni, they stop and water the horses there. And when they did that, all the explorers from Coronado, De Soto, Vasquez, and all them early Spanish explorers or that came through Zuni, they signed their name on the rock, and those signatures are still there. So El Moro, we're going to spend probably a good, I'm going to say 4 hours there because it takes probably an hour and a half. You can do a self-guided tour, which you go on the base of the line, see the signatures, and see all these special things that are going on the mountain, and then you go on top of the mountain where there is a ancient site that the Zunis have. And this ancient site was during the time when Anasazis were about. you talk about people talk about the little people. Yes, during
Hmm.
the Anasazi people are the little people, so they get to go up there and look at the ruins that they live on, and then they come back down and everything, and when they come back down, we'll have a picnic at the picnic area, which is right outside by the visitor center. So, and so again, the tour we'll talk more about it because there's a camping site out here. That people, if they want to camp, bring your sleeping bag, your tents. There's a free camping site that I want you all to enjoy. And if we decide to camp out here and enjoy it, look how much sky we have out here to watch the stars at night. But before I get into that, the second stop is going to be at Great Kiva Ruins. And Great Kiva Ruins has a lot of, so you look at this, space being pictographs. There's a lot
Hmm.
more other than this. I'm just showing you all this, but we're going to have a space being pictographs that we're going to have a tour of, and you know, it's going to be a really interesting site. And this Great Kiva Ruins was occupied during the Chaco Canyon era, and so you know, Zuni was around that time frame. Now, on the third day, the final day, we're going to go to a place called Chaco Canyon, New Mexico. Chaco Canyon, as is a another Anasazi time frame of, occupation. And you can look at it because the doors are only 2 feet high and all that kind of stuff. And you can see that there were, again, Anasazis, the little people, and you get to see the kivas. There's a kiva right there. There's a kiva right there. These circles and the way they are built, these structures are built perfectly. Square buildings, circular kivas are very good circle through. So then, after we visit Chaco Canyon, we go back to Zuni, and again, my buddy, my buddy Rick is gonna be able to take you all to where he saw Bigfoot. He saw Bigfoot prints, and there's other things that we could do. Or if you just want to go around Zuni Pueblo and go to their shopping, they got all kinds of shopping going on, vending going on out there. So you might want to enjoy your evening of shopping. Then that will end the tour. But then again, if you don't have to rush off that evening, we're gonna go stargazing again, only in Zuni. And I'll take you out to a place called Pi Mesa, which you're gonna be 7,400 feet above sea level, which you'll be that much closer to the earth, and the skies are normally clear, and it is a beautiful, beautiful area. So this is what we're gonna do. And again, you know, OneNationTribalAlliance.com, Facebook group, One Nation Tribal Alliance. So, you know, I just want to share this with you about what we're gonna do. And this is just one thing I want to talk about, but I'm gonna create an event on Facebook, and I want people that are interested to come and talk about it. And let's get this thing planned out together. But these are some
Hmm.
of the sites I want to take to people. I mean, they're interested in historical sites. So anyway, go ahead. What do you got to do? If you're next.
Oh, I that sounds amazing. That sounds really amazing. I mean, I wasn't able to hopefully can still come, but we'll see how that goes. But I wanted to talk about like we wanted to do like a native talk type Q&A or open mic where we can create like a Zoom and we can all, come on and talk and up to, what'd you say about 150? Not 150, 50? 50 people. And we want to be able to, you can interact, ask us questions. I wanted to bring some of I mean a lot of I have a lot of birch bark that I wanted to kind of show off, some beadwork and a lot of, art, especially from my kiddo. So, I mean, things like that. We can talk about anything. heritage. You can ask questions. A lot of people are not fully, aware. I've had people ask me, "Hey, I know this native person over in California. Do you know them?" And it's like, no. I wish I did, but I mean, we're all like different tribes, and we all have our different culture, our heritage, and we have our own languages. So I mean, it uh, we're not. I mean, we're like connected, but it's a little slightly different, and so this will give you the chance, to be able to ask some of the questions that you've always wanted to ask, but you didn't feel like maybe they weren't right or something. So I mean, it's going to be open mic to be able to ask anything that you would like. And I know that we were talking about having these kind of like these Q&As or open mic, and then we also talked about like the full moon, wanting to do like a Zoom on the full moons, and to be able to do healing like as a group. You don't have to be a healer, you don't have to be a shamanic healer, you don't have to be a Reiki master or a practitioner. It's intent, and it's love, and coming on, and to be able to give the healing that the earth really needs. And I did it myself. I think it was like June of 2021, and it was amazing because when I went out to do the healing ceremony, I had a friend of mine who was Madej, who was a medicine man, come with me. And I said, leave your phones and stuff. We walked outside, and the whole sky just filled, like just started, all these lights start popping on. So all of these ships were there for it. And, I mean, it's a big thing. I think, I mean, there would be people that would say otherwise, but and that everybody's, entitled to their own opinion. But to me, this was something really special. And it was like special enough that I wanted to be able to make it bigger, be able to get people in. And it's just, as long you have the intent, and to be able to heal, and Greg and I and maybe a couple other healers would be there to be able to, you know, work through step by step. And it's going to be something really simple. You don't need to go online and order all these things. It's going to be just stuff that you can find out in your yard, or you can find in your home. So that's kind of where I am at that. It looks like the summer is going to be amazing. And I'm pretty happy about it. But anyway, we were going to talk about modalities. So what do you have going on there, Greg?
Well, the things about modalities is that I as a in my mentorship class, I don't people have different modalities of how they do healings, how they do their sessions, or whatever. I'm not here to change anybody's modalities, but I'm here to basically help them enhance their modalities because however they do things, however they whatever resonates with them, I don't interfere with that because that's each one of us have our own modalities of whether we're doing healing, whether we're doing prayers, we're doing cleansing or protection, and I just share what was taught to me, and I leave it open to where if it resonates with you, do it. If it doesn't, put it on the shelf. It's just like relics. My partner and I, Kim and I, we did a podcast a while back about different relics. And, people say, well, what about this? Well, whatever you use that resonates with you, whether for protection, whether for healing, or everything on Mother Earth at one time was alive and had a spirit. Even this pen,
Hmm.
the plastic in it, it was from Mother Earth. Or where else would it came from? Ocean? No. But Mother Earth had it. Even as far as a a paper cup, that came from a tree.
Hmm.
A tree had spirit. A tree was alive. So, whatever relics you use for protection and cleansing ceremony, that is your, you know, relics. I'm not here to change it, and I'm not here to, you know, do anything other than to share it with you. Like for crystals, a lot of people call me and says, "How do you clean the crystals? How do you cleanse the yeah? How do you cleanse those crystals?" When I use it so much that it gets tarnished, it gets brown. I said, "Well, put it in a basket night before the full moon, put it out there, and let the full moon cleanse it." And so that's one of the things. And another thing is, you know, everything, we you go out in the public, sometimes everything is just not normal. So when you're out there, when we come home, the first thing we do is we're going to wash our hands.
Hmm.
We're going to wash our hands. Well, when you wash your hands, I would go more into detail as to why, about the negative energy, or if it gets on you. Water is spirit. Take a bath. Water is spirit, and allow that spirit to take that negativity off of you. If you need to put a little salt in their salt bath, do it. You know, but these are some of the things that I would talk about. You know, when we have you know our mentorship program, and again, then the other part about it is raising your vibration step by step, baby steps. And because those that are just now awakening, a lot of them call me and says, "Why am I being attacked? Why am I being attacked?" Because you awakened, and they want to get you while you're in the beginning process. That way, they want you to see if you can give up. Because if you just give in, they'll leave you alone. But if you don't, if you continue to awaken and study, learn more about who you are, what you are, that you are an infinite being, powerful, and when you work on that, they're going to come attack you until you learn how to protect yourself and learn how to use your guides and call upon your guides. And once you learn to do that, boom. So this is what mentorship is all about. I'm not here to change people's modalities. So, you know, that's what I got going on. So back to you, Eve.
Well, that is amazing. Yeah. Modalities. That's interesting. Yeah, I have been adding to my repertoire of modalities that I offer through. In fact, it was Rising Spirit Reiki, but I changed it to Rising Spirit Healing Center because I feel that I have, to offer with, I started doing a life coach and I deal with trauma, so we're looking at a lot of our own people and not only our own people, but in general, uh, generational trauma. And, I see a lot of this on TikTok and I see it on Facebook and everywhere. And a lot of our people are still holding in that trauma of things that happened many years ago, with all of the genocide and the placement of reservation land and losing what feels like our freedom. But we're not tied to that. We are free anyway. Yeah, we it's forgiveness. And there's like so much with forgiveness that, I mean, even with, I'll say a personal little story, that I had someone that I had an issue with, and I can no longer work out this issue with this person because they've moved on to another plane of existence. And the forgiveness was extremely detrimental to the what how they were able to move on, um, and some of the things that they've done in their life. It's never too late. It's never too late. I mean, forgiveness is definitely key. Being able to forgive, being able to ask for forgiveness, and just it'll hold you back. And I just we're coming to this point where a lot of the prophecies are going to be very important. And one of them was actually having, all the medicine wheel. So all of the people that are represented by the medicine wheel, and we have, white, black, red, yellow, and those for are the people that live here, that are here at this moment. And, we have to be able to stop fighting. Just I see so much of it, and it I wouldn't say it brings down my, energy, but it's disappointing to see that we're still arguing over something, and it's so much better to just forgive, connect, love, and work together. Because from what I understand from some of the Ojibwe teachings, we either have to forgive and move together, or we're going to separate. And then that's when things that are not ideal, I don't want to get too much into it, but um, you know, I guess working together and love, and not judging people strictly by, either their looks or their occupation or their skin color, but being able to let that go and just acceptance. And, I mean, I'm working with that. So, some of the modalities is not only do I offer healing, shamanic healing, intuitive healing, I also offer like life coach trauma, because shadow work is very important, and a lot of people don't understand how to start. What do I do? Where do I begin? I didn't, I mean, I had to have somebody come in and kind of get me started on what I was to do to be able to start this. And that's where we kind of come into, mentorship. And that's, one of the things that Greg and I were talking about before we started recording this was mentorship. And we talked early, and I said I want to become, to join, because you have a mentorship that you have on One Nation Tribal Alliance. If you go to the website, www.onenationtribalalliance.com, and you're going to look at the top, and you're going to see the mentorship. You just click on that. I don't know why I'm telling this. I haven't done it yet, but the last couple of days have been insane. But I'll do it tonight, and Greg is going to be there, to help you, step by step, to be able to mentorship, to be able to, raise your vibrations, to be able to, your frequency, and to be able to help you with a lot of your natural born abilities, and getting them to reach out farther, getting them, amplified. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's the only one that came to mind right at the time. And I really, you get to a certain point, and it's like you kind of feel like, now where do I go? What's next? Because I think healing and changing your vibration and working with all these things to become a better person, a better you, takes sometimes you need help. And a lot of people just struggle with like reaching out and asking for help, thinking it makes them look weak. No, it's the exact opposite. The fact that you understand that you are needing an extra help, and being able to reach out and ask for it, that's strength, that's courage, that's bravery. And I think a lot of people kind of get to that point where they're so independent, you know uh, it's a struggle for them to say, you know what, it's not working, I need help. And that's where, Greg and I come in, to being able to help anybody that comes to us, that reaches out and saying, something happened, I'm really struggling. Um, and that's where the intuitive healing comes in, because usually someone can sit down, face to face, like Greg and I are doing right now, and are being able to speak with others. And I can just speak with someone just texting them, and all these things just start coming to me. I remember I was having a text message with someone, and I was like, tell me about the dragons. And she was like, oh my gosh, how did you know? Um, it's what it's what being an empath and being what an intuitive person is. I wouldn't be very good if I wasn't able to help others. I wouldn't be reaching out. I wouldn't be doing these shows. I wouldn't be, increasing my modalities so that I can help a greater, group of people. So I think the next thing I will be doing is hypnotherapy. And once I get that certification, that'll go on the website. But you can reach me on like Facebook, and it is Rising Spirit on Facebook, Instagram. I think on TikTok it has something to do with the podcast though. But there's ways for that. You can reach out to me. I have Eve Howard 21 at mail.com, not Gmail, but just mail. You can get a hold of me. I mean, even if you need somebody to talk to, I'm not going to charge you to talk to you. I mean, it's when we get into these special things, we can talk because I mean, I know what it's like to not have enough funds to be able to get the help that I need. Contact me anyway. We'll work it out. I mean, I just have so much to share and to help others, and I feel like I'm not reaching that quota of helping people. And it's not about money. It's not even about money. It's about being able to touch, reach out and touch people, and to be able to know that they're not alone in this, because everybody has, things that can hold them back, or you can have blockages, your chakras, your it's it's a lot. I understand that. And so that's why I am, you know, doing more than just the healing. I'm reaching out, and I want to be able to do what came here to do. And I came here to help. I came here to help us reach the point where we're moving together as one, as one people, as one tribe is what I like to call it, one tribe.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
also to be able to heal, because that's, I have all this energy, and it has nowhere to go. I need to be able to, heal the earth, heal, my neighbors, my loved ones, my family, because that's what I consider everybody here. That we're all working together. We're all one, and we're all connected. And I'm not just talking about connected like picking up the phone. I'm talking about connected like all of the, whatever makes up the universe, and the stars and the ground and the trees and the rocks and the animals and the people. We're all one. So, that's why when Greg talks about spirit, spirit being in rocks, in trees, and animals, and not just your friendly little cat and dog at home, but also out. A lot of the animals out, I mean, I've connected with them. I know the pain. I and it's hard, but that's what we're here for. That's what Greg and I are both here for. So if you get a chance, hop on Greg's website, or come look me up on Facebook. Um, I know what I see when I see videos of people. I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean, are they really that nice? Yes, I am really that nice. I I don't want to be called a pushover, but I mean, I'm a very strong person, and Greg is a very wonderful healer, and he's done so much for everybody, and for me as well. I'm just appreciative and grateful. So this is how, we give back. So, how about you, Greg? What do you
Well,
think?
what I think is thank you for what you just said about me. I didn't put myself up in that category, but I'm just here on a mission, like the rest of us, to share knowledge, to share whatever needs to get done. Put it this way. I'm not gonna go into specifics, but just if you need us, get a hold of us. That's why we're here. That's our callings. That's our mission. So I just want to say that we're here, and these are just some of the things that we want to do. So if there's any questions, I mean, everything to me is one nation, tribal alliance, because we are all one nation. You know, whether you're red, white, yellow, or black, we're one nation. So, under the Father's eyes, we're one nation. So, you know, we're here for you because we just want to say that, you know, we love you and we just want to, bring out and share the knowledge again, over and over again, and to help you, those that are healers. Let's work together on how you can, enhance your modalities, enhance your gifts, rise up to the next level if you need to. You know, I've been doing this for the past 55 years. So, and I've been doing it all over the world. Been to Tibet, Egypt, Israel, Japan, with the Buddhists, with the monks, with the gurus, with other tribes in Africa, South America, Central America. I'm just not, I'm ethnocentric with the way I was shared knowledge with. I went out there and learned. So I do have, you know, enough information to, you know, help you if I can. And if I don't, that's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But again, like you said, to sign up for mentorship, it's under www.onenationtribalalliance.com, and it's up on the upper corner or upper thing where it says mentorship, or you just scroll down to the bottom as you read along about me, and then you can press that button and it'll throw you in there. And you know, if $11 is too much, call me. I can bring you on. We had to put something on there because of the search engine we use. So again, feel free to join and I will make time for you. And how we meet is on Zoom like this, one on one. I meet with you. We talk about where you are with your modalities, and then we can talk about how you want to enhance your modalities, and then we'll work on those things. And, you know, again, that's what I'm here for. So that's all I have right now, Eve. So,
But yeah, well, that's a lot. I mean, I really, needed somebody like a mentor when I was, going through a lot 9 years ago. I was an alcoholic and I was abusing, prescription drugs with the alcohol, and I was unhappy. And I couldn't understand why I was so unhappy. It's because, I wasn't connected to myself and my gifts. And, you're looking for something when when you're using alcohol or you're using drugs, or you're, using your body to reach out to people that, because it's important to be able to have the right person to be able to come in and understand you. I mean, I know there was a lot of I don't know, people on Facebook where they, have all these things, and you sign on and there's like, 100 people on there and you feel so lost. No, we do it one on one. And also I live in Fargo, North Dakota. I don't know how many Fargos there are, but and I will be taking people in person. So if you're around this area, contact me. I do hands-on healing. I can do in coaching. I've been doing oracle cards. This was something that I started when I was really young, and I started with playing cards. in like I think it was like high school, maybe junior high. And I started to do it with just regular deck of cards. And now I've moved over to, helping people with that. And it's I wouldn't call it a hobby. I would call it a calling. That's what I would call it. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Otherwise, I mean, if we can't help you, I'm sure that we can find some way to be able to
Mhm.
get exactly what you're looking for or need. So
Okay.
please contact us.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, that's what is going on with One Nation Tribal Alliance. And what again, what do you call your spirit healing or what was it?
Rising spirit, rising
Rising
spirit.
spirit.
That's
Yeah.
what we need to do. We need to
Rise up.
rise.
Rise
Hmm.
up. So
It's time. It's time to
yeah.
step into your power. Let us help you. I
Yes,
mean,
it's time because
I,
this world it needs us. We are the
yes,
1% blood cells for Mother Earth. So let's
yes.
help Mother Earth heal. So
And also, Mother Earth needs you.
yeah,
We
yeah,
are all together. We need to do this together. So,
yes. So that's all I've got on this end. If that's all do you have any more, Eve?
no, I think I got everything I wrote down everything that we were going to go over. So, yeah.
Okay, well, uh, this is going to be probably one of our shortest video. Well, and I just want to say thank you for watching, and I will be on taking on some text messaging tomorrow night. So I love y'all. We love y'all, and again, we enjoy you all watching. So have a great and wonderful evening. Bye bye.
Bye.